My Bloody Valentine's Loveless has finally turned 30 years old as of November 4th, 2021. So today, I just wanted to sit down and talk and give my personal thoughts on the album and how it's impacted me over the barely even a year I've listened to it. Now, according to Apple Music, according to a little tracker app, the first time I actually added this to my library was March of 2021, which basically is accurate. Long story short, around this time, I had to go visit my family in Iran. And, well, we had to make a couple days pit stop in Istanbul because the flight got canceled, all expenses paid, you get a hotel stay, and I'm like, oh great, you get to visit Istanbul. And we were at the airport and we were deciding, should we take that flight or should we just go home, sleep next couple days? But I guess we were already packed and we were already ready to go, so we decided just screw it, let's go to Istanbul. Was that the right decision? Looking back on it, I don't think so, but we did what we did. I took that flight. And I think then was when I first put the album on. I don't have great memories of listening to the album on the plane like that. Kind of just slept through a lot of it in a bit of a daze, which kind of helps the album, and its feeling. But around this time, I was also really into Slow Dive. I was into their album Sovlaki, and I was, getting more and more into it, especially around 2020. I was listening to it, coronavirus and all that jazz. And it was a good album for me to just sink my teeth into and listen to stuff like When the Sun Hits. These sort of very noisy, very just lush tracks that would make you just, I don't know. It gave like comfort and also sadness at the same time, and I really did appreciate that. It was cool. I had a lot of music like that I got into and listened to around that time because it's how it was, I'd go on late night walks by myself around the neighborhood, dark, foggy, and I was just there. It was a weird time for everybody. We were just all stuck and we were all on our own and we were all listening to our own mental. It wasn't great. But, by this time I started listening to Loveless. My school's gone back in person for the most part. I actually still did it online because you had the option to stay in online, but I went in person because I needed people, even though there's like barely anybody there. And I was able to, go and not miss much school or any school. Thank God, because, dude, it was the one time I had to do it. If anyone, I assume no one knows, I'm a dual citizen. I was born in the United States, but when I was young, my parents got me a passport to Iran because they immigrated from Iran to America, Georgia to be specific. I was actually born in Atlanta, even though I currently live in California. They immigrated here in 1999, so I was able to get a citizenship. I was able to be a citizen of the country. It was all fine and dandy. Felt good, right? Turns out, Iranian law, when you're an adult and if you're a citizen, you have to do military service. I don't want to be conscripted. I'm sorry. I don't even speak the language. I'm Persian. Both my parents. I don't know about their other ancestry. We haven't gotten that tested yet, and I kind of do. My dad's like, ooh, maybe a little Russian to me. And hey, kind of lit, right? But I don't know. I'm Persian, but I don't speak the language. I'm not super in tune with the culture. I'm not into any of that. So I had to go and see my family one last time for perhaps a long time. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to be able to get some sort of university exemption, but I don't know. I mean, I'm going to an accredited school, right? I'm going to one of the state schools in California, one of the better ones, So that's no biggie. That shouldn't be an issue. But you never know. Maybe they don't see UC Irvine as a good school. I don't know. And if they don't, I don't respect the government. You know what I mean? Nah. But, yeah. A couple days pit stop in Istanbul, and that's where I first heard this album. Really. It felt right. It really... That and Sovlaki, because I kind of heard both of them, like the entirety of their albums, and just sunk my teeth into it. I listened to both of them at around the same time in similar intervals. And I like Souvlaki more, but something about Loveless just really, it was a cohesive product. Not like in a consumerist way. In the sense that it was like this fully formed idea just came out of the womb and it was just ready. It was tight, it was packed. It was noisy and it was loud and it was sometimes just mixed not super well for today's standards. I mean, the album came out in 1991, but we've had way better sounding albums made even before then. Sounds kind of like it was recorded on a damn tin can, you know what I mean? But whatever, man. It still was unique. It was classic. It was the father of this whole little subgenre of alt-rock, shoegaze, you know? Some good stuff. And even if the composition, you know, like the actual instruments and all that is noisy and loud, there's like these like pop sensibilities to it with the hooks. And it's really funny to me because it's not like we have hooks. We don't have hooks for this album. You know what we have? We have guitars. They don't sing on the damn album. For the majority of the time, they're not singing a hook or anything. I mean, sure, there might be a phrase repeated beforehand. A lot of the verses and all that are sort of repeated, you know, senses. But like where you'd normally have a chorus or something, you'd have a little guitar lick, you know? You'd have a synthesizer, a little ditty that would stay in your head and be infectious. Like When You Sleep or like I Only Said. Those two are the ones that I really remember with that. And Soon is my favorite song off the album. I'm just going to keep it $150 with you. It's like this release, like this whole album. I wouldn't really call it super dark and depressing or anything, but it's very claustrophobic. It's very noisy. It's it's like beautiful and it's like romantic and loving. It's like the puppy love, you know what I mean? Like the first time you see somebody and you're just like, damn, that's some good shit. Just that like sensuality. And that's one thing I also like is that it's a very sensual album. It's very kind of a sexual one. We don't talk, I mean, the lyrics, one, you can't really hear them, but two, I mean, how much of it's really just about that? A lot of it. You read the lyrics that you hear knows when. Damn, slip your dress over your head. It's been so long. Move on top. That way you touch her. Just like, yeah, bro. What do you think they're talking about? I read a genius lyric. I might put it up. If you don't, then whatever. It says something like, there's like 2 comments. I took a screenshot of it. I thought it was the funniest thing ever. The first one was like, this is obviously another song about sex. These are the lyrics of To Who Knows What. And the second one was, me coming to this song every day, it's like I want to eat a burger, so I go stand in front of McDonald's and look at a burger. Something like that. It was so funny, especially with the broken grammar. But it's like, yeah, I understand how you feel with that. You feel the vibe. You feel the sensuality. You feel the... It's a very romantic album. It's some good shit. And perhaps Souvlaki, and I'm probably going to make another video as well comparing the 2 albums. Just my personal taste. I like both albums a lot, and I think they're both very good albums, but I think both albums just do things differently. They're sort of in the same genre, but I feel like Souvlaki sort of took more pop sensibilities, and most of Slow Dive's, those 2 albums, it's like that, but it's, you know, quieter, a little bit better mixed, more poppy in the sense that there's more hooks, and it's cleaner. I like it, but it's different. It's not this... It's more sensible. It's more accessible. It's more contemporary. Which isn't a bad thing at all. I like contemporary stuff. But it's different. But walking around the streets of Istanbul, listening to that... Maybe not walking. Mostly we were chilling in taxis and shit. It's like I was in this industrial area. I wasn't even in the cool city tourism parts. I was in this hotel stapled next to a convention center, and I walked around, and there's like these dirty beaches, cats, you know. It was industrial. It was dreary. It was drab. It was kind of hellish, you know. It just felt dark. It wasn't bright out, but it was like foggy. It was kind of muggy out. And there you go. It kind of was the good soundtrack, especially with the rain. Although I'm honestly thinking more about Souvlaki when I talk about this time period. Specifically the song 40 Days. That's a really nice one. That's probably my favorite song off Souvlaki. But I remember listening to this on the plane to Iran as well, and just taking in the the memories of it. And I remember one time my cousin drove me, my adult cousin, no license, just had a permit. He was supposed to get it before I came, but he decided not to. Gotta love him. And I just remember, like, I tried playing it for him, and unfortunately, it didn't really sound that good on the speakers. That's my one criticism. It's not really a good headphone album for a lot of the tracks. I mean, my bad. It's not a good speaker album. You know? I feel like you need some headphones and want to be immersed in the sound. Or you need to just be okay with just being blasted at you, loud as fuck. If you're okay with that, then sure, put on the speakers. I mean, those concerts are super loud. But there's a lot of good shit in there. I think the one track that I put on was I Only Said, and that one is kind of one of the noisier ones in terms of its actual mixing. And so, I don't know, I like it. And the little ditty, the little hook ditty with the little, you know, cheery little synth or flute or whatever the hell they're using to make that sound. Maybe even a guitar. Who knows? It's great. And I feel like it's inspired a lot of other artists, you know? I remember Yellow Loveless was a compilation album I saw on YouTube. It was like a bunch of Japanese artists came together and just made a bunch of covers. And they slapped it on an album in 2013. It was some cool shit. And the one that I liked, the one that's the most iconic, I think, was Shonen Knife with like this pop punk band that made this really like cheery, smiley, happy one that's like a very, you know, it was cute. It was just cute. And that's not something I'd give to a fucking My Bloody Valentine song. It's not cute. That shit's sexy, you feel me? Like it's like more visceral than that. But they made it cute. They made it poppy. They made like a little bunny wrap, you know? You can wrap a little box of chocolates, you know? Some good shit like that. I was like, damn. Second time I'm saying that. I don't care. Because I'm fucking enjoying myself right now. But that's just how it was. And it's like it was inspired so many different artists. And it was like this monumental thing that just showed up. Like they're building up to it, sure. They put out albums and EP. They put out one album and a few EPs before, and you could see the progression. Then it just dropped. And then I was like, damn. Pardon my swag, but I kind of forgot what I was talking about. I paused it because my roommate walked in. I'm mad at him. I'm really mad at him. I'm not mad at him. But yeah, I mean, maybe a little bit of a cut off, but all I can say is, man, that's a good ass album. And I feel like it's a good soundtrack. Like even now, like I thought that, oh, it's like it's slowly like, I've literally barely listened to it for less than a year. March of 2021. On my phone right now. You can't see it because I don't have a webcam on because I don't really care. But I got the phone. And it says March 15th, 2021. And I don't want to break this damn desk, but I'm kind of feeling it, right? And what's the most played song? Loomer. Is it actually? No. Really? Soon is... Okay, top 5. Yeah, Soon's my favorite. Speaking of Soon, the reason why it's my favorite is because, as I said previously, like the whole album is building. And it's like getting more punky and more solemn. Like Only Shallow comes in and it just slaps you in the face with that guitar. And it's like really upbeat. And it's like subtle, and then it like just slowly dips into more murky, seedy, like intimate, but also kind of just mixed feeling type of thing. And I feel like that culminates in Sometimes, right? That's like I feel like that's the cornerstone of the album, even if Soon's my favorite. It's got to be Sometimes. I mean, the biggest hit was When You Sleep, but I don't know. I like that one, but I think Sometimes is the second best. It's like the best, but I like Soon more. It's a weird thing. Sometimes you have albums, you have songs that are like, oh, this is objectively better in my opinion, composition-wise, but I like this one more because it makes me feel good. And that's how Soon is. Sometimes like this ballad, it just keeps on going. Probably like maybe not saddest song, but one of the heaviest ones, even if it's not the heaviest in composition and like instruments. It's the heaviest in just how the notes, you know? I'm not a really good speaker when it comes to this shit, but I'm trying my best. It's like, especially where after the last hook by Kevin Shields can't sing, by the way. Someone tell that motherfucker to get take a lesson. That's the other criticism I have. Kevin cannot sing. Belinda Butcher, she can sing. I think Rachel Goswell, I like her voice more. I'm not going to lie to you. Mostly because it's more prominent. But I feel like compared to Slow Dive, the vocals on Loveless just aren't that important. You don't even know what the fuck they're saying. No lyrics have been released. You don't know what the fuck they're saying. They're never going to tell you what the lyrics are, and you have to discern them and guess them, and they're really low in the mix. And it's like, it kind of works the way that they both sound kind of similar. You know, there's the male and female singer, and sometimes they sing, most of the time, they just have their one song, like they have their own song, and they run it. It's really androgynous. That's one thing I read. It's like, it makes sense. The gender doesn't really matter. You know, it doesn't matter. Even if most of the lyrics are written from like a guy to a girl's perspective. And you turn your banger. I just had coffee, so it's starting to kick in. We get that long podcast format type shit. I'm like Cleveland Brown. Hey y'all, I'm Cleveland. But I'm talking too much. In summary, I fucking love Loveless, even if the name isn't that. Happy 30th anniversary. If you're still watching this video when I'm rambling and not really having any structure, because I just turned the microphone on because there's this college assignment and it's super complicated and I'm just chilling out. You know, I'm like, fuck, I didn't get this video done. And I hope you enjoy the gameplay, because I am putting some gameplay on this shit. COD Vanguard, it dropped on Thursday at 9 p.m. for me, Pacific Standard Time. Banger. Actually, so fun. But I also have schoolwork to do. But I figured, record this video, get some work done, play the game, put it together, and you're going to watch this video. Because we're going to get some more commentary shit going on, because I haven't been able to make many videos because I've just been fucking swirled up by school. I'm a freshman in college now, damn it. I was talking about it. You know, it's the summer. I'm a freshman in college. I'm in a new environment. And we've had a lot of shit happen in the last month to 2 months. And I don't know how much y'all are going to hear about that shit because, hey, keep it on down low. But we've been maturing and shit. So hope y'all enjoy the video. Subscribe. Like. Have a good day.